Scamper the Penguin is a Russian-Japanese animated feature from 1988. It follows the adventures of a baby penguin chick called Scamper. Scamper is optimistic and confident, but remains naive about the dangers of the world. Let's first discuss my thoughts on the story. You see, this feature is actually a series of 3 short films edited into one whole feature and dubbed into English. Due to this choice of cutting, Scamper the Penguin doesn't have a structured narrative, but rather a series of moments and set pieces. It can get a little repetitive, but it's not boring. I mean, there are scenes laced with tension and conflict. Some scenes are kind of dark, so it's not light-hearted all the way through. It's only the third act of the film that has anything relatively engaging, as Scamper and his friends have to escape some rough sailors. Despite lacking anything impressive in the writing department, Scamper the Penguin has some outstandingly amazing character animation. Each character has such life to their movement. There's no lazy tricks or repeated looping, it's all progressive and fluent. Now, my biggest problem with Scamper the Penguin is the English dub. It's really cheesy, obnoxious, and the acting is either too stiff or actors have a habit of shouting or snapping their lines. The chicks' voices are cute, but can get a bit annoying after a while. The voice syncing is sometimes a little off, and the penguins talk way too much. Sometimes dialogue is even featured when their mouths are closed. The English dub barely pauses to have a moment of silence, and its sound effects are limited or sound too goofy when compared to the pace of the animation. I also found the narration to be condescending, and some scenes had narration where it didn't seem to be even needed. It feels like an insult to the animators when you have to have a voiceover explaining what the audience can already see. Visual communication can be strong and clear enough to let the viewers know what's happening. I found the music score to be bland but not distractingly poor, and the original songs are downright awful. They're forgettable little tunes that describe what's happening in a scene. They come off just as patronizing as the narrator. Now, I have heard the original Russian audio, and it's far superior in my opinion. The music is beautiful, and the voiceover narration is soft and poetic. I mean, there's something noble about the delivery of the Russian narration. The acting from the Russian voice actors is more natural, and the dialogue sounds stronger. The Russian cut has a slightly different tone that I prefer, and there's less dialogue compared to the loud and talkative English dub. I also noticed some similarities in Scamper the Penguin when compared to the more recent film Happy Feet. No, not because it's an animated film about penguins, but because both films chart the childhood of a penguin as he confronts Antarctic hazards. Many scenes in Scamper the Penguin mirror those played out in the first act of Happy Feet. It's just an interesting comparison when you think about it. Maybe Happy Feet was inspired by the Soviet cartoon, or maybe it was just a coincidence. My conclusion? Well, younger audiences will probably appreciate the English dub, but those who prefer some peace, quiet, and artistic merit in their soundtrack will prefer the original Russian cut. Either way, both cuts have the same quality of stunning character animation, and the animation is what I benefited from Scamper the Penguin, so it doesn't matter too much which one you decide to view. If you find penguins to be adorable or awesome, then you're bound to get plenty out of this cute animation.